Arnold Schwarzenegger is speaking out about last week's riot at the Capitol. The former governor posted a somber video on Instagram where he said the Capitol protesters reminded him of the Nazi riots in 1938. He said after World War II, many men who went along with Hitler's regime were racked with guilt over what they did, including his very own father. Watch.
My father would come home drunk once or twice a week, and he would scream and hit us and scare my mother. I did not hold him totally responsible because our neighbor was doing the same thing to his family, and so was the next neighbor over. They were in physical pain from the shrapnel in their bodies and in emotional pain from what they saw or did.
Wow, and if you watch that whole speech, and I strongly urge everybody to, it is nuanced. It is sobering. And again, we started with that in the beginning of the show. And, you know, I was reading comments over the last week and people really having different views of what their facts are. You even said, right, Al, you said, well, Sam, to whom do those facts apply? I read a really poignant post, and sorry to the producers, I just thought of this. I didn't send it to you earlier, but it said in so many words, if you're conflicted with whether or not your truth is the facts, because there's so much misinformation out there, if you're at a rally and you look to your right and there's somebody with a Camp Auschwitz t-shirt on, and you look to your left and there's somebody with a shirt that says 6 million wasn't enough in regard to the Holocaust and Jews dying, then that should tell you morally you're on the wrong side of history. Maybe you should leave that march if so many people are screaming things like hang Pelosi, hang Pence. Again, I'm just saying it because that's exactly what happened, calling it for what it is. And I think that can be a sober reminder to many people.
Yeah, please, Jeff.
Well, I mean, listen, this is another conversation I could talk about all day. That's wrong, Sam. You're right. You're 100% right. Everyone out there is 100% right. You're right. But to say that is everybody who is a Republican is wrong.
I never said that.
I know you didn't.
I never said that.
I know you didn't.
Schwarzenegger is a Republican.
Exactly.
And he's calling
but
it
that's
out.
where we are in America. That's what I'm talking about, conversations. That's why I said this is a conversation. Social media is not a conversation. If you say I'm a little bit Republican, you are that person wearing 6 million isn't enough. People label you. It's a travesty. Okay, that's what's wrong with our country right now. What you're saying is 100% right. People agree with that. And there's nobody denying that fact. But when you say, when someone doesn't agree socially with you that they are one of them wearing that t-shirt, that is what's wrong with our country. It's a travesty.
And I'll tell you this, Jeff, I actually looked up I actually looked up what Night of Broken Glass was, and I was listening to a lot of recounts, and what it was really what's regarded as the kickoff of the Holocaust. It was like the first night, and they were talking to the survivor, and she was a 4-year-old girl at the time, and she said her and her brother were laying in bed. They saw bricks start to come through their windows. They looked outside. They saw their neighbors doing it, and they saw the cops standing there. That's where the analogy of the Night of Broken Glass comes from, and that's why we're talking about this, is because people saw the cops opening up doors, because they saw people like them, Jeff, that watch the Super Bowl and eat Jell-O and high-five when their team wins, now bringing gallows and nooses and zip ties to our Senate floor. So when we analogize those things, it has nothing to do with Republicans. It's saying, like, that guy looks like my neighbor, and I know that woman. That's what it is. And now that woman is screaming at the top of her lungs to kill a senator.
Right.
And it just shows you how quickly we can go from everybody just being cool to next thing you know, your neighbor throwing a brick through your wall, through your window.
Yeah.